We're celebrating one of my favourite ingredients from a really beautiful part of the world, part of Australia. Got some prawns here in lieu of the beautiful Western Australian marron, but if you can get a hold of that, definitely use that. And in terms of celebrating Western Australia, in terms of produce, we've got Adam here from Wine Selectors. He's going to tell us a thing or two about this while I prepare this marinade. The recipe will be on our website.
And because you've gone seafood, and like you said, if you can get marron, fabulous, but if not, I think you've got fabulous prawns there.
Some really big prawns, yep.
Exactly. And we're going to celebrate the wines of Margaret River.
Gorgeous.
So Margaret River is world renowned, and rightly so. Chardonnay and Cabernet are the two varieties that they do so well. But what I've bought today, because of your dish, I bought 2 white wines. I've got Chardonnay to show you how good Margaret River Chardonnay is. And I've also got a little blend of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. Now this wine used to be known as the classic dry white. Before we fell in love with drinking New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc in this country, it used to be one of our white wines of choice.
And now we're returning that way because it's that good?
Exactly. And we're going to show you why today Margaret River does this better, arguably, than any other region in the country.
Excellent.
And why it's going to work so well with your dish.
I'm really excited.
So I'll get on and pour.
Wonderful. And I'm just about to blitz all of this together. We want to create a bit of a paste first, and then I'm going to add some olive oil to loosen it up, and then I'll show you how to prepare the prawns.
So there's a glass of Sauvignon Blanc Semillon. SBS, they say, if you're into acronyms. You can get SSB, which is a blend of Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc.
Excellent.
And the region does both equally as good.
And am I detecting some citrus in there, which is going to just make that seafood sing again?
Absolutely make it jump. And there's our world famous Margaret River Chardonnay right there. That one's very well worth sticking your nose into.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Forgot to add a little bit of salt. Seafood loves salt. And some olive oil now that we've chopped all of our flavours up there.
Fennel's amazing, it's really fragrant. It's
Absolutely. So we've got it 3 ways. We're using the bulb shaved in a salad. A lot of people are familiar with orange and fennel as a classic combination, but we're sort of elevating that a little bit. So we're going to use the fennel fronds in the salad as well, fennel seeds and fennel fronds in here, as well as the orange zest. So we're sort of taking something that may be a bit of a classic, something that people are familiar with, and adding a few more fancy bits.
perfect.
So pop that aside. So we've got our prawns here, straight from our fishmonger.
Brilliant.
Really only need sort of 1 per person. If this was an entree, I'd just serve 1 per person.
Yep.
So I'm going to split it down the middle and in between its legs, right the way to the tail.
So you're leaving the shells on?
I'm going to leave the shells on. So we're going to butterfly these, but intact. So we're going to put the marinade all the way up the body.
And leaving the shells on, am I right in thinking that that keeps the moisture in the flesh?
That's definitely one bonus aspect of it.
Okay.
So we've butterflied our giant prawns. We've exposed all of the tasty stuff inside the head. So if you're into eating heads, this is a perfect opportunity because we're going to give them a lot of heat. As you said, we're going to keep the flesh moist inside, but you're going to have a nice crispy outer shell. So if you're into eating it, you can. If you don't want to, you can easily pull it out. So I've put them shell side down. So I'm just going to have an inspect of this. But tell me what makes these wines so special.
Well, I think it's the climate that Margaret River enjoys. If you think about where it is geographically, it's surrounded on 3 sides by water. And that ocean provides a really cooling influence, especially in the afternoon.
Okay.
The beauty of Margaret River is its rawness, its natural kind of environment and its remoteness.
So the residual heat from these prawns is going to be enough to cook the rest of the flesh. They've had less than 2 minutes on each side, so I'm going to turn them off the heat. We'll quickly assemble our salad and I'm going to dress it on the plate that I'm serving it to make it extra easy. So we've got our fennel. So where it comes to the bulb part that's a little bit rough, I've shredded that a little bit finer, but I quite like the texture and the crunch of probably about 5 mil thick slices.
Okay.
We're going to segment our orange. So we use the zest from this orange in our marinade. Just releasing each of those beautiful segments.
So it really is not many ingredients at all. You're just using different elements of each ingredient to produce what's going to be the end product.
So it's an orange and fennel salad essentially, but it's extra orange, extra fennel,
and extra power,
chari prawns,
extra deliciousness.
And rather than wasting this, is going to become a part of our dressing. A little bit more of our Spanish onion or red onion, which is also in the marinade. So again, we're just playing with those. We've got some of our fennel fronds here.
I actually think looking at this come together, I think both of these wines would suit.
Excellent.
They're different weights. The SSB or Sauvignon Blanc Semillon's light and fresh and punchy, and all these elements in this salad and in your marinade are light and fresh and punchy. So I think that combination and fusion works really well.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to make this twice and try both of them.
Exactly right. And then the sweetness of the prawn meat, that's where your Chardonnay comes into its own in terms of being able to match with that sweetness and that richness of that prawn flesh as well.
So we've got our salad there. Made a bit of a mess around, but I don't mind because we're going to get our hands dirty anyway eating these prawns. So we'll pop them across. Some nice char in there. We might sort of lay them that way and then pile these two on top. Now I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
It's a rather messy mountain of salad and seafood, but I think I'm gonna get stuck straight in.
I could see us sitting on one of those magical Margaret River beaches. On the sand, getting stuck into that as the sun sets down, as it does beautifully in the west.
Very happy with that.
Absolute picturesque. But thank you very much for having me on today.
Oh, thank you for being here.
And thank you for showing me how to do that. That's going to go on the repertoire.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Cheers.